esta tarde vamos a hablar de música.
This afternoon I would like us to talk about music.
Y para hablar de música queríamos empezar con algo de música.
And that's why we have begun with some specials, some musical specials.
Vamos a hablar de música y del Dios de la música.
And of course we're going to talk about the God of music.
¿Qué sabemos nosotros de música?
What do we know about music?
¿Quién sabe algo de música?
Who knows anything about music here? Raise your hand.
Oh, por favor.
Please, please.
Sean sinceros.
Be sincere. And who knows anything about music?
Hermana Francisca.
Sister Francisca, you too.
Okay. Hoy vamos a descubrir que la música no es tan lejano a nosotros como pensamos.
And today we'll discover that music is not so far from us as many may think.
La música es un don de Dios.
It is a gift from God.
Y también una responsabilidad
And it's also a responsibility
de todos nosotros como iglesia.
of each one of us and as a whole, as a church.
Vamos a empezar.
And so let's begin.
La música la relacionamos con alabanza.
We talk about music and we connect it with praise. Or
Aunque
praise.
son cosas diferentes, nosotros las relacionamos.
Even though they're different, but we still mix them together.
Pero vamos a aclararlo con la definición de Wikipedia.
Now, we're going to define praise with Wikipedia definition.
¿Quién me quiere leer la
Who
definición?
would like to read the definition?
Hermano, ¿me puede leer la?
Brother John, would you like to read it?
The act of enunciating positive affirmations about a person, object, or idea, either privately or publicly.
Entonces hablar bien
So,
de algo o alguien,
when we speak positively of someone or something,
cuando demostramos con nuestros actos,
and when we show with our acts,
estamos alabando.
we're praising.
Así que esto nos profundiza un poco más, nos amplía un poco más lo que
So
es alabanza.
this gives us a wider range when we talk about praising.
Ahora hablemos de adoración.
And now let's talk specifically about worship.
¿Qué es adoración?
What is worship?
¿Quién me quiere leer qué es
Who
adoración?
would like to read this paragraph?
A contemplative spiritual state in which the human being is overwhelmed with wonder, establishing an intimate communion with a deity. Worship means to love to the extreme.
Cuando hablamos de adoración,
When we talk about praise,
hablamos de amor al extremo.
When we talk about worship, we talk loving to the extreme, to the utmost.
Es la máxima expresión del amor, podríamos
It
decir.
is the highest expression of love.
Hasta aquí no hablamos de música.
And we haven't spoken about music.
Las relacionamos, pero realmente vemos que
We can relate, we can, still relate to it, but we have not defined music.
ahora miremos qué es la música.
Now let's talk about what music is.
¿Quién me quiere leer? ¿Está conmigo?
Now, who would like to read this particular paragraph? Sister Maureen.
The art of combining vocal or instrumental sounds for both to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion.
Entonces la música no es solamente una combinación de sonidos.
So music is not just a combination of sounds.
Voy a hacerles una demostración de lo que creíamos que era música.
Now, let me give you a demonstration of what we might think or might thought music was or is.
Cuando por primera vez me dijeron que música era combinar sonidos,
So when I was told that music was the combination of sounds,
yo dije, música es esto.
so music might be this.
Estamos combinando sonidos.
We're putting together a couple of notes,
¿Qué nos
right?
falta?
What is missing there?
Armonía. Entonces, música puede ser...
So music could be.
¿Qué nos falta?
What is missing there?
Ok, tenemos ruido.
We
¿Qué nos falta?
noise, but he's saying we need the form.
La música tiene tres cosas
So
importantes.
music has three very important elements.
Ya definimos la primera, armonía.
We
¿Cuál sería
mentioned
la
one,
segunda?
harmony. What would be the second one?
Rhythm.
Ritmo.
Okay, rhythm.
Ok, pero aquí tenemos ritmo.
There you have rhythm. What is missing?
¿Qué nos faltaría?
What is missing there? No.
Melody.
Yeah.
Absolutamente.
Yep.
Y
Melody.
después de añadirle una melodía,
So we're going to put a melody, the harmony and rhythm.
cambia un poco, pero ¿qué nos falta?
Now it's much better, but what else is there? What's
Esos son los tres
missing?
componentes para hacer algo de música, pero nos falta algo.
We have the three elements: harmony, melody, and rhythm. But what else? What else is missing?
The message.
The expression of emotion.
Falta el alma.
Here's the soul is missing.
Ahora, ¿por qué ocurre esto?
Why does this happen?
Porque la música es la naturaleza de Dios dentro de nosotros.
Music is the nature of God within us. In a nutshell.
Cuando yo produzco un acorde,
When I make an accord,
yo puedo hacer un efecto en usted.
I could make an effect in you. I can influence you.
¿Qué pasa?
What is there? What do you feel?
Y esto, por acá.
What's that? How
¿Es
do you
triste?
feel? What do you
Happy.
feel? Happy?
Ok. ¿Y qué pasaría si hago esto?
And if I do this, what would you feel? Yeah.
Entonces la música despierta emociones.
Music will appeal to the emotions, human emotions.
No solamente son notas combinadas,
So it's not just the chords,
son emociones transmitidas.
there are emotions that are
La
transmitted.
música es un lenguaje
Music becomes a
y
language,
tenemos que entenderlo
and we have to understand
para poder aplicarlo.
so that we can really use it properly.
Recién llegué a Canadá, me invitaron a una iglesia en Ottawa
When I came to Canada, I was invited to an SDA church in Ottawa.
y había una canción que decía que el Espíritu de Dios está en este lugar,
And
la
the song
alegría de mi corazón.
was talking that the Holy Spirit was in this house,
Y la alegría se refleja,
and happiness is reflected in me. That's what the
la
song
alegría de mi
is.
corazón se refleja.
So the joy of my heart is reflected.
Eso cantaban los hermanos.
That's what the lyrics, that's what people were singing.
Y cuando entramos vimos unas caras más o menos así.
And when I came in, the people were having these expressions, this
Y
facial expression.
cantaban,
And they were
y
singing,
yo sé que el Espíritu
and
de
I know that
Dios
the
está
Spirit of
aquí.
God is here.
¿Concuerdan?
Does it match both the lyrics and the
Parecían
expression?
zombies cantando.
Huh? They look like dead people sing.
Entonces, lo que nosotros cantamos debe estar conectado a la expresión de las emociones.
Whatever we sing has to be connected with the expression of our emotions.
Dicho en otras palabras,
In other words,
¿quién puede hablar de lo que no conoce?
who can talk about something one doesn't know anything about?
Yo siento gozo en mi corazón.
If I feel joy in my heart,
Yo siento gozo,
And then
gozo en mi
what's
corazón.
that song in English? I have a joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
La próxima vez que canten eso, miren la cara de los hermanos.
Next time you sing that song, just look around, look at people's expressions.
De la abundancia del corazón habla
Out
la
of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak.
Y la música es algo serio dentro de la iglesia.
And now music is a very serious topic within church.
¿Qué pasó?
What happened?
¿Por qué no podemos conectar la música con lo que pensamos, con lo que sentimos?
Why is it hard to connect the lyrics with our emotions at times?
¿Qué piensan ustedes?
What do you think? What's missing? What's the reason why?
Thinking about what you're saying. If we're not really thinking about what we're saying.
Si no se está pensando en lo que estamos cantando.
Totalmente de acuerdo.
Yeah, totally.
La música dentro de la iglesia es una oración.
Is that okay?
Una oración.
Music within church is like a prayer.
Si no estamos conectados los unos con los otros orando,
If we're not connected when we're praying,
la Biblia dice que el Espíritu de Dios no está ahí.
there says the Spirit of the Lord is not there present.
Porque eso pasó en aposento alto.
That's what happened in the I forgot the name. The Holy Spirit fell at the Pentecost, the upper room. Yes.
Ahora tenemos un tercer personaje en esta historia.
Now we have a third element in this story.
Y vamos a entenderlo en Ezequiel.
And now we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verse 13.
Aquí empezamos a hablar de alguien.
And here we're talking about someone
¿Quién estaba en el jardín del
who
principio?
was in the Garden of Eden.
Hay un ángel hermoso que estaba
It
ahí.
was
en
a
el jardín.
beautiful angel.
Tan especial que la primera vez que se escuchó unos instrumentos
So special that the first time certain instruments were played,
fue en la creación de
it
este
was
ángel.
in his creation.
Ahora, este ángel es bastante poderoso,
Now this angel is very powerful,
pero cometemos un error al pensar que él creó la música,
but we made a huge mistake when we think that he was the creator of music,
porque él no puede crear nada.
because he did not and he cannot create.
El único creador es Dios.
The only creator is God.
Pero ¿por qué lo relacionamos con la música?
But why do we link Lucifer's creation with music?
¿Alguien tiene una idea?
Does anyone have any idea why do we link the both
The
together?
choir leader, you know.
Ajá, ¿qué más?
Sí,
¿Qué más tenemos?
Same thing.
Ok. Básicamente nos dicen los testimonios que él dirigía la música a la iglesia.
It says, for prophecy says that he was the choir leader up in heaven.
Pero ¿de quién era la música?
But whose music was it?
Adorar a Deus.
So whose?
¿De quién?
God's music.
Era de Dios. Así que él administraba algo que era de
So he
Dios.
was only a steward, he was only a ministry, he was only managing.
Si uno administra algo, uno tiene que conocer lo que administra.
You have to know what you're managing, what you're looking after.
Voy a hacer un paréntesis,
Now let's make a parenthesis,
solo para que lo tengamos en cuenta.
so that we just have this in mind.
No hay una sola persona en el mundo,
There is no one in the world,
según los estudios,
according to studies,
que pase tan solo 6 horas
that can spend at least 6 hours
sin pensar en música.
without thinking about music.
Es más, redujeron el margen a 3 horas.
So they even shrank the time to 3 hours.
No se puede.
Still, people
Ciertas
still would think.
neuronas en el cerebro se activan cuando
There are
pensamos en
certain brain
música.
cells that would activate by themselves, just to the topic of music.
¿Y qué tal una hora? Una hora sin música.
What about an hour? Can a person be without thinking or, music at all in their brain?
Pareciera que el cerebro la crea y la imagina.
It seems as if the brain connects them and makes the music, creates the connection there.
Y siguieron investigando hasta que se dieron cuenta que ni siquiera son minutos sin música.
And they came to a point where they even found that there is not even few minutes that a human can be without thinking or even humming any musical rhythm.
Porque es naturaleza de Dios dentro de nosotros.
Because it's the nature of God that we still have within us.
Es poder de Dios
And it
dentro de
is the
nosotros.
power of God within us.
El instrumento solo no tiene ningún poder.
Now, the instrument by itself has no power whatsoever.
Los sonidos solos no tienen ningún poder.
The sounds themselves have no power.
Pero la música tiene un poder.
But the whole music, that's our power.
No vamos a entender la música como música cristiana, música rock, música jazz.
We're not going to divide music into different categories: jazz music, classic music, Christian music.
Todo lo vamos a ver como la música.
We're going to put everything as music.
Retornemos a este personaje. ¿Qué pasó?
Let's turn to this character. What happened with him?
Entonces, ¿por qué la música? Podemos pensar o llegar a pensar en música mala.
But we can start thinking, well, there's bad music out there.
¿Por qué?
Why do we think of bad music? Or why is there bad music?
Music is an interpretation of a person, what they feel inside, they put to words and to sound.
Ahora, ¿cuándo ocurrió esto?
Now, when did
Cuando la música se volvió mala.
the music was able to become or turn into a bad?
De acuerdo a lo que dice la hermana.
According to what you say, sister, when did the music become an instrument?
When man put away the teachings of God and they just opened up to worldly things, and Satan came in and changed their heart.
Ok, pero pensemos en qué momento la música empezó a volverse mala.
But let's try to find the reason at the moment that music became bad.
Empezó a ser mala para nosotros mismos.
Even became bad to ourselves.
Viniendo de Dios.
Even though it was a gift, a creation from God.
Aquí dice que estos instrumentos,
It says that the pipes,
tamboriles, flautas, estaban en el cielo.
and pipes were in heaven.
Pero ahora vemos baterías, tambores y...
And today when we see drum sets, we basically call them bad.
Just a thought. In my opinion, music became bad is when people wanted to express something other than worship and praise and, you know, not like in heaven, but the opposite. Like, for example, rock. When they started to use the instruments to invent other music. I don't know how to explain it. They started to sing rock and they gained these things and they had other things in their mind than praise and glory and wonderful things about God. You know what I'm saying? Worship.
Lo vamos
Worshiping
acercando.
maybe
Now we're
somebody
coming
else
closer.
other than the Creator.
Vamos
That's when rock
acercando.
started.
Yes, we are.
But
Yes.
Satan rebelled.
Ahí está el problema.
There is a
Oh, okay.
Well, the Apostle Paul says that in times the love of God shall grow cold,
Yes.
right? So if you don't praise God, you're gonna praise somebody. The talent is there, you know, it's built in us. Music is just like an alphabet, and you make words with it, right? So the men started to have many inventions, you know, that's,
I believe that music has been perverted like anything else that the Satan has taken, you know. The devil take good things and pervert them and make bad things out of them. For example, appetite. We eat because we're supposed to live, right? But what is appetite today? You know, people eat till they get so fat that they
Live
can
to
hardly
eat.
walk anymore, right? Sunshine is beautiful, but if the sun just baking down on us for 40 days, we die, right? Water is a wonderful thing, but when it comes in oceans and drowns us all, we die. The same with music, it's been perverted by Satan, and he's using it for the wrong purpose.
Totalmente. Entonces vamos a conectar.
That's when they used it to create a negative emotion towards men. That's when it turned bad.
Básicamente. Vamos a conectar todo lo que acabamos de
Now let's
decir.
put everything we have
Voy a
said
tratar
together,
de conectar todo lo que dije.
or I'll try to.
Satanás se rebela.
Satan rebelled in heaven.
Con su rebelión trae también conocimientos.
Now, within his rebellion, he has a lot of knowledge.
No puede robarse la música.
He cannot steal music just
Pero
by
lo que
itself.
sabe acerca de la música
But
viene
what
con
he
él.
does know about music gives him power.
Viene con él.
Oh, he's coming along with him.
Cuando hace que Eva caiga
When he
con Adán,
leads Adam and Eve to sin,
lo hace con el conocimiento que llevaba de ellos.
was taking advantage of the knowledge he had about them.
Así que cuando se empieza a usar la música,
So when music is used,
Satanás influencia para que sea pervertida.
Satan makes it that so it can be perverted as well.
Así que tenemos música mala desde el principio.
So we have bad music from the very beginning.
Y esto es importante entender,
And this is very important to understand it.
porque nosotros pensamos que la única música mala es el rock.
Sometimes we just think that only rock music is bad.
Y ahora sale algo más perverso que es el reggaetón.
And even people say, oh, reggaeton is even worse than rock.
Pero hay música mala desde el principio.
But there is bad music from day one.
Desde que Adán cayó,
From
toda
when
la tierra se
sin-
rebeló.
Since sin came into this earth, there's been bad music.
Vamos a hacer una pausa con este tema.
Now let's put a pause, let's make a pause.
Y quiero que busquen en la Biblia, si no tienen Biblias acá va a estar proyectado
I'd like
en
us to
Salmo
turn to
105.
Bibles and let's turn to Psalm 150. Psalm 150. If you don't have a Bible, you can follow along here.
El Salmo 150 no solo es un manual de música,
Now, Psalm 150 is not only like a manual, like a music manual.
También es una exhortación para que el pueblo de Dios le alabe con
It's
instrumentos.
also an invitation, an exhortation, so that God's people can worship and praise.
¿Por qué Dios exhorta a su pueblo a alabarlo con instrumentos?
Why does God invite His people to praise Him with instruments?
Porque la música, al igual que el hombre, se había venido pervirtiendo.
Because music, as well as men, have been perverted.
Y estaban tan limitados para usar la música que por no ofender a Dios mejor no hacemos esto.
And they or nosotros?
En esa época.
Back then, they were so afraid to make things worse that they were not using all their potential, all the instruments and all the music to glorify God.
Y en este salmo encontramos no solamente qué instrumentos podemos usar, sino cómo los podemos usar.
This tells us what instruments we may use and how we can use them.
Y vamos a encontrar algo interesante.
And now we're going to find something interesting.
No olviden lo que hemos analizado de la
Don't
música. hasta ahora.
forget what we have spoken so far about music.
El Salmo 151 nos muestra...
Now, verse 1 tells us.
¿Quién quiere leer?
Who would like to read it?
Just verse 1? Or?
Yes, Solomon.
Okay. Praise ye the Lord. Praise God in His sanctuary. Praise Him in the firmament of His power.
Nos dice dónde empieza la alabanza y hacia dónde se conecta la alabanza.
It says where praise should start and where should it lead to.
Y esta alabanza entiéndase a música,
And when we talk about this praise, we're talking about music.
porque nos va a conectar con los instrumentos.
Because it will lead us to instruments.
Pero esta música
But this music
alaba a Dios.
says praise God.
Es decir, habla cosas buenas o exalta las virtudes de Dios.
In other words, exalts the attributes of God.
El Salmo 152, el verso
Now,
2.
verse 2. Can anyone read verse 2?
Praise Him for His mighty acts, praise Him according to His excellent greatness.
Nos da un motivo
Now, it gives us a reason.
por el cual alabamos a Dios.
It gives us a reason why we should praise God.
¿Alguno de nosotros ha visto la grandeza de Dios?
Has anyone seen the greatness of God?
Estamos aquí.
We're here, life itself is great.
Hemos comido, hemos reído,
We have been able to eat. That was great.
tenemos salud,
And we're healthy.
hemos visto la grandeza de Dios.
We have seen some of
Básicamente
God's
no-
greatness.
Tenemos motivos para alabar.
We have enough reasons to praise.
Después Dios empieza a hablarnos acerca de los instrumentos.
Then, now God will start talking about instruments.
Empieza hablando de las trompetas o las bocinas.
There, here start talking about trumpets or trumpets.
En esta época no habían trompetas, habían cuernos.
There were horns back then. They were not in the brass trumpets.
Yo quise poner toda la evolución de los instrumentos
And here's actually, you can see the whole evolution of instruments from beginning to modern instruments.
porque hay algo que se llama organología, que es el estudio de los instrumentos.
There is something called
Organología.
organology, that which is the study of instruments themselves.
Y el equivalente de ese sonido pues es el equivalente a todos estos sonidos, es la modificación de.
And the same sounds coming from the top are the ones that we reflect here at the bottom.
Muchos vemos un saxofón y lo relacionamos con el jazz,
We see a saxophone and we might connect it to jazz.
pero con el saxofón se puede alabar a Dios.
But with saxophone you can praise God.
Bueno, hoy mi esposa dio una idea.
My wife today presented an offering to God. I'm not just translating you.
Okay.
My words are yours.
El Salmo del verso 3
Psalms 3, Psalms 3, verse 3.
nos habla de las arpas.
It talks about harps. Yes.
Y dentro de esto podemos meter al piano, porque el piano es un arpa con teclas.
And we can even include a piano, because a piano is like a harp with keys,
Básicamente.
basically.
Y esto que está aquí es el inicio de un violín.
This is the beginning of what we call today a violin.
Es cuando a alguien se le ocurrió frotar las cuerdas de un violín.
When someone
Las cuerdas de una
rubbing, the string of an harp. And so,
Tenemos el verso 4,
And
que
then verse
menciona los
4.
tambores.
4, then it talks about drums, loud cymbals. and clashing cymbals.
Ujú. Los tambores y la danza.
Now, here includes drums and dance, it mentioned.
Y aunque la Biblia lo menciona, nosotros cuando llegamos a este versículo pasamos rapidito porque dice danza.
Sometimes when we read this Bible verse, we just quickly move on to the next. We don't stay much longer here.
Pero personalmente yo veo una conexión.
But I do see a connection here.
Yo veo que la danza y los tambores están ligados.
I see a connection between the drums, and dancing. There is a connection right there.
Apropiadamente los tambores en una orquesta sinfónica suenan solemnes.
Now, if you listen to a set of drums in a whole orchestra, they sound majestic. They sound beautiful.
Pero inapropiadamente los tambores en un reggaetón es grotesco.
But using other type of secular music, such as reggaeton, is grotesque. I mean, it's bad.
Entonces, cuando vemos en este tipo de música como el reggaetón, los tambores,
When we
vemos que
see,
provoca danzar.
¿le provoca o no le provoca?
Que provoca.
Oh, yeah. When you hear this drum set played in a certain way, like the modern music, you feel like dancing.
¿Por qué? Volvemos al punto. La música produce un efecto en nosotros.
Why? Because music will create an effect or feeling or emotions in
Y
our
aquí nos
lives.
dice que los tambores producen danza.
And here there is a connection between the drums and dancing.
¿Por
There's
qué
a
evitamos
connection.
los tambores?
Why do we avoid them? Why do we today?
Si el Salmo 150 dice que
Why
lo
do we
usemos.
avoid them if Psalms 150 verse 4 mentions them?
¿Por qué evitamos la danza si David bailó?
Why do we avoid dancing if even David danced?
¿Cuál es el argumento principal?
What is the main argument that we can put forth?
Y aquí hago una pausa. La
Aquí.
Iglesia Adventista del Séptimo Día, Movimiento de Reforma,
And we as reformers,
somos los únicos que tenemos ese argumento.
actually we're the only ones who use the argument. ¿Cuál argumento?
El argumento que vamos a descubrir.
We're the only ones who put forth the following argument, the one we all use.
Porque las otras iglesias usan estos instrumentos porque no lo conocen.
Because other churches or denominations do use drums because they don't know any better, right?
Ahora, dicho sea de paso, la hermana Helen White
Now, Ellen G. White, in the Spirit Prophecy,
nunca nos prohíbe usar ningún instrumento.
she never forbids the use of any type of instrument per se.
Lo digo porque ya lo leí. No hay un solo escrito
There is
que
no
nos
such
prohíba
a
un
thing
solo instrumento.
where she condemns or forbids any particular instrument.
Pero ¿por qué lo hacemos?
But why do we?
¿Por qué no tenemos una batería aquí?
Why don't we have a drum set here?
Ok. Voy a explicárselo de esta forma.
Now, let me explain it in a way.
Supongamos que estamos en un funeral
Let's say we're in a funeral.
y aquí está la persona que
The
murió.
corpse is here in the front,
Y resulta que yo voy entrando desde allá
and I'm just coming into the hall. I'm just at the door.
y me doy cuenta que la persona que está acá es una persona que no veía hace 6 años y me da mucha alegría.
And the person that is sitting here at the front is someone I haven't seen for years, 6 years without seeing him.
Imagínense,
Just imagine that.
todo el mundo está de luto,
So everyone is mourning,
pero yo siento alegría porque estoy viendo a la persona.
but I feel joy. I feel someone that I haven't seen, so I feel happy.
Entonces yo empiezo a gritar, salgo corriendo, aplaudo
I run and I raise my voice and I make an expression of emotion for seeing that person.
¿Está bien?
Would that be okay?
No.
¿Por qué?
Why? Why not?
Ahora hablamos acerca del respeto.
And now we start talking about respect.
Nosotros como humanidad vivimos un tiempo solemne.
Now we're living in a very holy moment.
¿Cuál es ese momento?
What is that moment of history in which we're living right now?
¿Cuál es el día de amargura, ayuno, oración?
That talks about fasting and humbling our souls,
Conflictos en nuestros corazones.
feel contrite,
Porque hay algo que se está jugando.
el día de la expresión.
Es por eso que nosotros no tenemos el tiempo para pensar en danza y baile como
That's
lo hacía
why
el
we
pueblo
do
de
not
Israel.
conceive we're living the time in which we can dance and there is not really the time.
Pero en este tiempo, cuando David escribe este salmo,
But when David was writing this psalm,
no estábamos en este tiempo.
there was not the Day of Atonement back then.
Y estos instrumentos se usaban con mucha cautela.
And these instruments were used very carefully, in a very particular way.
Ahora esto es una advertencia.
Now this is a warning.
Si usas percusión,
Now if you use percussion,
tendrás danza.
you will get movement or dancing.
Simple.
That's very simple.
And ask a question. What was the occasion when David danced?
¿Cuándo fue que
¿Cuándo fue la ocasión que David danzó? Cuando estaba
Was it
llevando el
some
arca.
kind of praising the Lord? What happened there? I don't remember the detail. But he
Okay.
danced to the Lord. He didn't
Yes, he
dance
did.
like today. Dancing goes on. People gather in a room somewhere and they have this music and they dance for their own pleasure. And sometimes things go beyond just dancing, okay? It's not for the same type of dancing that David did. That's the way I understand it. He danced for the Lord out of the joy of something that had happened. For the Lord.
La mayoría de personas usan este argumento para decir que estamos mal.
So many people use the argument that we're really wrong.
Que porque David danzó, entonces nosotros debemos.
If David danced, why don't we?
Muchas congregaciones evangélicas utilizan el baile
Now many congregations will dance
en frente de sus altares.
just in front, like here up in the front of the church.
Y dice, David danzó delante del arca cuando llegó a Israel.
And they would say, well, David did dance in front of the ark.
Y el arca es la presencia del mismísimo
And the
Dios.
ark is the presence of God.
Pero hay que entender qué estaba pasando.
But we need to understand what was going on. What the
¿Cuánto
context.
tiempo llevaba el pueblo sin el arca de Dios?
How long had the people been without the ark?
Ahora, cuando David supo que llegaba al pueblo el arca,
And when he heard that the ark was
ni
coming,
siquiera tuvo tiempo de vestirse apropiadamente.
he didn't even have the time to, dress himself properly. for the
Solo
occasion.
tomó su efod de lino,
Yeah, he took his
una
ephod,
manta,
like a
y se
coat,
fue danzando.
and he went dancing.
Danzó tan fuerte que toda su ropa se movía y él mostraba su vergüenza a todo el mundo. No le
It
importaba.
even says that his shame was shown by his dancing.
Esa fue la razón por la que Mical le dijo que si no le daba vergüenza.
Even his
enseñar.
wife says, don't you feel shameful of what you're doing?
Y Dios se enojó fue con Mical, no con David.
And God says he was displeased towards Micah rather than with David.
Entonces significa que debemos bailar semidesnudos frente al altar.
So does it mean that we need to dance half naked? Is that what we get from that story?
Hay que tener mucho cuidado cuando se habla de estas cosas.
Yeah, we need to be very careful when we talk about these topics.
Porque estamos hablando de una adoración entre David y Dios que solo ellos dos lo entendieron.
That was a very personal type of worship relationship at that moment between David and God. And they only can understand each other.
Tú no vas a matar a tu hijo, a presentárselo a Dios porque Abraham alguna vez recibió esa instrucción.
Yeah, you cannot go and try to slaughter your son or daughter just because Abraham at that time received instruction to do so.
Hay que ser muy cuidadosos.
Yeah, we need to be very careful.
Vamos a avanzar con esto. Entonces tenemos el Salmo 150, verso 4 como una advertencia.
Verse 4 is more like a warning. It serves as a warning.
Estamos en un tiempo solemne.
We're in a solemn time.
Estamos en el día de la expiación.
We're in the day of atonement.
Y en ese momento no hay alegría, no
There
hay
is
baile,
no joy, there is no dancing.
no hay un banquete de comida. No estamos celebrando nada.
We are not celebrating yet. We're not
Estamos
celebrating.
angustiados porque se está jugando nuestro pecado, está jugando.
The day of atonement is taking place as we speak. Our judgment is being taken.
Tenemos el mismo salmo que nos invita a alabarlo con cuerdas
And then the same psalm
y
says
flautas.
string instruments and flutes.
Y antes de hacer la demostración, Belinda, dime lo que
Yeah,
quieras.
Melinda.
Yeah, so David danced to the Lord. So this means we are forbidden to dance because.
That's what he was answering that point.
Okay, but is there dancing in heaven?
I dance en el cielo.
Muy seguramente.
Might be.
No lo sabemos. Tendremos que llegar allá para
We wouldn't
preguntarle.
know. We don't know.
Pero supongo que si hay extrema alegría, la danza será diferente al reggaetón que vemos en la tierra.
I would surely know that the expression of joy would be, it might be unique, but it would not be as the type of dancing we know of.
Vamos a hablar acerca, para entender un poco lo de la percusión, vamos a hablar acerca de las cuerdas y las
Now
cuerdas.
let's move to strings and let's understand a little bit about percussion.
Tenemos-
Percussion.
Un instrumento de cuerdas. La
And
guitarra.
here we have a stringed instrument, the guitar.
Y la Biblia nos enseña que la forma en la que debemos tocar la guitarra es el simrat.
And the Bible tells us that we need to play it this way, whatever name that.
Simrat es pulsar las cuerdas con
Simrat.
los dedos.
It's just with the tip of our fingers, touch it.
Como un arpa.
Like a harp, yeah.
Si nosotros tocamos con púa, que es lo que dice el hebreo, con púas o con uñas,
If we play with the pick, it's called pick,
el sonido se vuelve más tosco.
the sound becomes more rough. It's not as sweet, as soft as with the tip of our fingers.
Dijimos que tenía que haber una equivalencia entre melodía, armonía y ritmo para que hubiera música.
And we said we needed a balance between melody, harmony, and rhythm, so music would be creative, music would come out.
Ahora, ¿qué pasaría si yo solamente enfatizo en el ritmo y en las uñas?
What if I just dwell upon the rhythm and the pick, and in this case,
¿Qué pasa?
what do you get out of there?
Cambia, ¿cierto? Cambia totalmente.
It changes. Don't you feel that there is a
Mismo
change?
instrumento, mismas notas.
It is
todo
the
cambia.
same instrument, same notes.
Now you could feel more like dancing.
That's
when
what
it plays
Sister
that
Joy
way.
said.
Ahora, si no es solamente dos cuerdas, sino es todo un acorde.
Now, if I make a full accord,
¿Es esto nos ayuda a pensar en Dios, este tipo de
does
música?
it bring us closer to God? Do you feel that you're coming closer to God?
Hay un estudio de National Geographic que lo leí alguna vez acerca de cómo el sonido del bombo,
There is a study of National Geographic, and it was saying that the sound of the bomb,
no del bombo, el kick, el tambor grande,
is the big drum at the drum set, the middle one which that you hit with your feet. Bomb.
cada vez que suena ese instrumento,
Every time you touch, you
el
hit it,
corazón se acelera.
the heartbeat races, the rate of your
Y
heartbeat
el estudio
races.
nace porque siempre que hay un Woodstock, un festival de música en Woodstock,
Because every time there is a big, music festival like the Woodstock, the famous
Rock al
Woodstock
Parque.
one, where there was this, mix of.
hay mucha euforia, hay accidentes,
There is euphoria, there is accident, there is
porque el corazón se acelera y empieza a producir adrenalina y la
because
gente
the
se
heart
descontrola.
rate is raised and adrenaline is produced,
El corazón se descontrola, todo
and then
sale mal.
you can collapse.
Porque
Your body-
respondemos al estímulo de la música.
Because we're just responding to the stimulus, to the influence of music.
But some of them, like in the 60s, they were on drugs too, and that enhances their euphoria. They used was it the LSD, like it was a psychedelic drug, made their minds all spin and everything, so the music was like wild like them. Many of the...
Y no quería tocar el punto, pero sí hay una relación y sí hay cierta música que solo se puede escuchar con el uso de drogas como la electrónica.
There is certain type of music that you can only listen to if you're under the effect of drugs. Actually, they two have to be combined for you to enjoy it, or for you to enjoy it.
Alguna clase de reggae, la electrónica.
There is some type of electronic music, reggae music.
Es interesante. Vamos a hablar de los platillos, los
Now,
címbalos.
Let's talk about,
sorry.
Sister.
Yes, I think it's good to learn about music and also the instrument that is being played. If you see a Seventh-day Adventist, especially in Africa, all Africa, the way they play the instrument and they sing the music, it is all about dancing.
Yeah.
Because they do dance. It is what we say, right? They do dance it for the Lord. I think they now use it the same. Because there is no music that just makes them stand. one or the other way they go around. And then I'm asking, before it wasn't like that.
No.
It just seemed like it changed once they introduced, right?
Since 2000, it changed, started becoming effect.
Right. And then all Africa, 70, because it seemed like the African, they are very religious, and it seemed like 60% of them, right? 60% of African, or maybe more than that, are Seventh-day Adventists. And when you see them in YouTube, all of them, they dance. And then, you know, sometimes when we were watching those music, we also go around with them. And then now we are thinking, okay, there is more dancing for the Lord.
Ni siquiera necesitan tambores para eso.
And sometimes they themselves don't need drums per se. They don't need drum sets.
En la música creemos también en un monorigen, es decir, todo viene de un solo origen.
Now, we all believe that music comes from the same origin. We believe a unique.
Son los mismos acordes con un efecto
It's the
diferente.
same accords. It's the same music. It's the same
Volvemos al ejemplo de acá.
Let me give you again the example of
Vivaldi. Otoño Vivaldi.
that's Autumn from
Vivaldi.
Vivaldi.
Son dos acordes.
That's 2 accords.
O tres.
3 accords.
Y suena.
That's all.
En Europa.
Now in Europe.
En Cuba,
Now in Cuba,
eso no suena así.
now in Cuba that wouldn't sound like that.
En Cuba no tenemos esta estructura armónica.
In Cuba they don't use this structure. These are harmonic structures.
En Cuba tenemos esta estructura.
They have that.
Y tenemos los mismos acordes.
The same accords.
Sería. ¿Sí o no?
Do you see the difference?
Y si movemos un poquito, combinamos entre Puerto Rico y el jazz,
Now if we mix a little bit, if we go to Puerto Rico and mix a little bit of jazz,
los mismos
the
acordes.
same accords.
Produce un efecto.
You feel there is a different effect. The same accords, the same instrument.
Ahora hablemos acerca del uso.
Now let's talk about the usage.
Con los platillos lo vemos.
Now with cymbals, these are cymbals.
El platillo es el instrumento más feo.
Cymbals are the ugliest of all.
Uno suena un platillo y eso es un ruido
You
inmenso.
hit it and you will get a noise.
Pero en una orquesta sinfónica, como
But
acá,
in an orchestra,
en esta
in
ocasión,
a symphony orchestra,
cuando suena el platillo es solemne.
when you hear,
Le
it's a
llaman
song.
momentum.
They call it the momentum.
Es un momento en el que se define si estamos tristes, estamos alegres.
It's a moment
si
in
viene
which
la
there's a
parte fuerte.
transition between two parts of the same piece of music.
Israel utilizaba dos tipos de platillos.
And there were 2 types of cymbals back in the time of the Israelites.
Los címbalos resonantes, que son como castañuelas.
The ones that would look like shells in your fingers. This one, there you go, the small ones.
Y los de júbilo,
And they're the joyful ones, the big ones,
que se utilizaban para después de una guerra.
that were used after a war, after a battle, they would use them.
El Salmo 150 dice que podemos usarlos.
And
Hay
100
restricciones.
Psalms, 150 mentioned that they could also be used.
Y ya tenemos cubiertos absolutamente todos los instrumentos.
And we have basically covered all the instruments there
Nos
are.
falta uno muy
But there
importante.
is only one missing, or one, a very important one.
Todo lo que respire,
Everything that breathes.
alabe al Señor.
That breathes, praise the Lord. That's what it says.
¿Qué respira? ¿Qué instrumentos respira?
What instruments are the ones that breathe?
Aquí tenemos de Alemania el acordeón, de
We have
Francia.
the accordion, Germany.
Tenemos la armónica, que
We
la
have
estaba
the harmonic,
tocando.
Brother John has it as one.
Tenemos el órgano tubular.
We have a tube organ.
Son instrumentos que necesitan respirar para sonar.
They need to breathe. They breathe, and as they breathe, they produce sounds.
Pero sobre todo los coros.
But especially voices, choirs. These are instruments.
Y en el espíritu de profecía
And in the spirit of prophecy,
nos resalta la importancia de este último instrumento,
emphasizes this last instrument.
Ya lo vamos a ver.
And now we're going to read.
Tenemos un músico cristiano
Now we have a Christian music.
que decía que el fin y toda razón de la
It
música
says the final aim and reason for all music
no es otro que glorificar a Dios
is nothing or is none other than the glorification of God
y el alivio del Espíritu.
and the refreshment of the Spirit.
Es el único propósito de la música.
He said that's the only purpose of music.
Y eso lo dijo el padre de la armonía.
And he was the father of harmony.
Este es su tío.
And he's from your homeland.
Es interesante ver que este tipo
And it's interesting to see that this particular person,
descubrió todo lo que se puede hacer con la música.
he was the one who discovered everything there is about music, or everything you can do with music.
La música llevaba, después de Cristo, unos 1600 años de estudio.
1600 years after Christ, there has been about between Jesus and him, there were 1600
Y
years.
él toma lo que sabe de música,
And he takes whatever there is at the time,
hace un manual de armonía,
and he makes a manual.
y después de eso no hemos avanzado sino
And after
2%.
that, there hasn't been anything else discovered.
Solo
or
2%
improved.
hemos avanzado.
We have only advanced from his time till now 2% in music.
Y este tipo era cristiano.
And he was a Christian, he was a believer.
Y no era músico,
And he was not a musician,
era matemático.
he was a mathematician.
Pero en la época no se necesitaban matemáticos.
But at that time, musicians were not demanded.
El mejor pago, el puesto mejor pago era ser músico de la corte.
The best paying job at the time was to be a musician at the court of the king.
Y él mezcla la matemática con la música.
And then he mixes math with music.
Hace todo lo que conocemos de armonía.
And he makes everything we know about harmony.
Sorprende.
It's very amazing.
Y nos dice que de todos sus estudios él resume, la única razón por la que existe la música es esa.
And then the summary of everything he did, all his work, is the final goal or aim of music is the glorification of God.
Bach no fue famoso en su época.
He was not famous at his time.
Él fue famoso 200 años después.
200 years after, he became famous.
Murió pobre,
He died poor,
pero hizo el favor a la humanidad de descubrirlo.
but he did something that all humanity has benefited out of it.
Resumiendo lo que llevamos, podemos entender ahora este versículo.
Now, summarizing everything, we can have a better understanding of this passage.
Juan 4:23.
This is John chapter 4, verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
Adoradores en espíritu y en verdad.
Worshippers in truth, in spirit and in truth.
Y no tiene mucho que ver con música esta parte.
And might not be referring to music at this time.
Pero si lo aplicamos a la música,
But if we make an application to music,
podríamos decir que no estamos haciendo un buen trabajo con la música.
maybe we would find that we're not doing our best to worship God with our music.
Vamos a hablar acerca de la importancia de cantar en las congregaciones y espero no estarme volviendo muy molesto o demorarme mucho.
Now, we're going to talk about the importance of singing, and I hope I'm not going over my time and I'm not becoming too boring.
¿Todavía están despiertos?
You're still awake? You're still with me?
Yes.
Voy a creer.
I will believe you.
Un pasaje del Espíritu de Profecía nos dice algo importante. ¿Quién
Now,
quiere
this
leer?
passage of the Spirit prophecy says something very important. I'd like to read it.
Se nos vamos,
Anita.
pero alguno de los jóvenes.
Would you like to read? Well, anyone of you first?
No words can
No
properly set forth the deep blessedness of genuine worship, when human beings sing with the spirit and the understanding. Heavenly musicians take up the string and join in the song of thanksgiving. He who has bestowed upon us all the gifts that enable us to be workers together with God expects his servants to cultivate their voices, so that they can speak and sing in a way that all can understand. It is not loud singing that is needed, but clear intonation, correct pronunciation, and distinct utterance. Let all take time to cultivate the voice, so that God's praise can be sung in clear, soft tones, not with harshness and shrillness that offend the ears. The ability to sing is the gift of God. Let it be used to His glory.
Yo creo que esto está muy claro.
I believe it's quite clear.
Voy a hacer una pregunta.
And I'll make a question.
De los que estamos aquí, ¿quiénes cantan?
How many of you can sing?
Ok. ¿3 personas?
Only 3 of you?
4. Ok.
More.
Muy bien. Técnicamente todo el que puede hablar puede cantar.
Basically anyone who can speak and sing.
Voy a volver a preguntar, ¿quién canta aquí?
How many of you can sing?
Ok, tenemos... Ok. ¿Se acuerdan del muchacho que estaba en el cielo y era un ángel hermoso?
You remember that creature, that angel that was created up in heaven?
A este tipo le encanta que las personas levanten ídolos.
He loves to raise up idols.
No sé si lo han notado.
I don't know if you have realized.
Cuando Israel se sentía solo en el desierto, hubo un becerro.
When they were out in the desert, there was a golden cow.
Los filisteos tenían a Dagón.
When the Philistines had Dagon, the king, their king, their god. Sorry.
Siempre le gusta levantar ídolos. Hoy tenemos,
He likes idols.
¿qué podríamos decir? Rihanna.
And today there's so many musicians that are idols to the people.
¿Cuál es el punto?
What's the point?
La hermana Hermano dice que la habilidad de cantar es un don de Dios.
It says the ability to sing is the gift of God.
¿Por qué nosotros no cantamos?
Why don't we sing?
Ok. Nosotros pensamos desde niños que la habilidad de cantar no es un don de Dios.
We, from childhood, we think that singing is not really a gift.
Nosotros pensamos que solamente 2 o 3 personas lo pueden hacer.
We think that just few, a couple of people can really sing well.
Y a ellos hay que levantarlos y aplaudirlos.
And you have to praise them. You have to put them up in a pedestal.
Poner 2 velitas y hacerles un culto.
And you need to set up an altar for them because they sing so beautiful.
Eso nos convence el mundo.
And that's what the world does, right?
Pero es una mentira absoluta.
Okay, it's a total lie.
Es una mentira absoluta porque la música es un don de Dios en todos nosotros.
Because the gift of singing is a gift from God on every single one of us.
¿Qué pasó con el pueblo de Israel apenas cruzaron el Mar Rojo? ¿Qué fue lo primero que hicieron?
What did the Israelites do just after crossing the Red Sea, right out on the other side?
¿Qué hizo la hermana de Moisés?
What did Moses' sister do?
She's saying, praise.
¿Y qué hizo todo el pueblo?
And what did everyone?
Entonces todo el pueblo se paró. Lo que saben cantar, por favor, acá vamos a cantar.
It says, okay, those who know how to sing on the right and those who do not, please, on the left.
Solo vamos a escuchar a los que cantan. Y
We're
los
going to listen to the qualified, the gifted ones only.
¿Eso hicieron?
Was that what she did?
¿Qué hizo todo el pueblo?
All the people.
Cantaron un himno.
They sang a song.
¿Se sabía la letra?
Did they know the lyrics?
Lo acababan de componer.
They just wrote it. It was written right after.
Entonces, ¿por qué ahora es tan difícil cantar?
So why did it become so difficult to sing nowadays?
¿Quién nos lee este segundo párrafo?
Now let's read. Who would like to read another girl?
Music can be a great power for good, yet we do not make the most of this branch of worship. The singing is generally done from impulse or to meet special cases, and at other times those who sing are left to blunder along, and the music loses its proper effect upon the minds of those present. Music should have beauty, pathos, and power. Let the voices be lifted in song and praise, devotion. Call to your aid if practicable instrumental music, and let the glorious harmony ascend to God and acceptable offering.
¿Está claro?
That's as well very clear.
¿O tienen alguna pregunta?
Or do you have any questions?
La música tiene un inmenso poder.
Music has a very powerful influence.
Yo estoy convencido de esto.
I am totally convinced about
Trabajé por mucho tiempo en la música.
it. I worked many years
Y mi
with
esposa no me
music,
deja mentir.
and my wife would not allow me to lie.
Y también estuve dirigiendo la alabanza en una iglesia evangélica.
And I was also the praising leader of a Christian denomination.
Y mi esposa me decía, ¿por qué tú no cierras los ojos cuando estás tocando?
And my wife would ask me, why don't you close your eyes when you're playing the music?
Yo le decía, porque me gusta ver lo que pasa cuando yo toco.
Because I like to see the reaction of people when I'm playing.
Ellos piensan que es el poder de Dios.
And because they think it is God's power moving
Ellos
them.
piensan que es el Espíritu Santo.
They think it's the Holy Ghost moving them.
Pero yo toco y ellos bailan.
But I touch, I play, and they're the one who dance.
Yo toco y ellos lloran.
I play and they cry.
Y yo hacía lo mismo en una tarima de música bailable y pasaba lo mismo.
But I was just doing the same thing I used to do with worldly music.
Y ellos lloraban y cantaban, dependiendo de la música.
People would also, cry or dance depending on the music. That's heart touching.
Y llegó el momento de alabar a Dios.
And then the praise time would start.
Tengo solo un piano.
And I'm just using the same piano. I'm not using anything else.
Same instrument.
The same instrument, yeah.
Tiene un inmenso poder
Great power
que correctamente
that used properly
sería una bendición.
could be a great
Pero
blessing.
muchas veces dejamos que la música cubra espacios en casos especiales.
And it says, done with impulse and meet special cases.
O los dejamos que canten como quieran.
I would just let people sing the way you want.
Vamos a cantar el himno número 100, no sé qué.
Hymn number, 100 and whatever.
Y se paran con la cara de ungidos del Señor.
And then we all stand with the beautiful faces.
Eso es lo que está pasando y eso es un problema serio.
And she mentioned that that's a problem.
La música debería tener
It says music should have beauty,
sentimiento,
pathos,
poder.
and power.
Pero cuando no es así,
But when the opposite happens,
la música pierde poder de Dios.
it loses its power.
Y lo voy a poner en escena.
And I will show you how it is.
Si no es el poder de Dios, entonces ¿de quién?
So, if it's not God's power moving, whose power is it?
Yo puedo usar la misma armonía.
The same harmony.
Armonía simple.
That was a simple harmony.
Pero si no es el poder de Dios, ¿es el poder de quién?
If it's not God's power really touching the music, whose power is it?
¿Cómo se llama la canción que cantamos nosotros con el video? Ahorita me acuerdo, para hacer una demostración. Pero vamos a leer el que sigue.
Let's read the following passage.
¿Quién quiere leer?
Now, who else would like to read?
But it is sometimes more difficult to discipline the singers and keep them in working order than to improve the habits of praying and of exhorting. Many want to do their things after their own style. They object to consultation and are impatient under leadership. Well, music plans are needed in the service of God. Common sense is an excellent thing in the worship of the Lord.
Así que a veces nos falta el sentido común a la hora de hacer música para Dios.
It says sometimes it's just a matter of common sense.
Vamos a continuar con otro
Yeah,
punto.
but some people don't.
Common sense is not so common. There is a great pathos and music in the human voice. And if the learner will make determined efforts, He will acquire habits of talking and singing that will be to him a power to win souls to Christ.
Hay un gran poder,
He says there is a great power.
hay un gran sentimiento
There is a great feeling
con la música.
with music, with great pathos.
Tienen la melodía en sus cabezas
Now you have the melody in your minds,
y lo quieren cantar.
and you want to start
Hagamos un
singing.
experimento, traten de cantar.
Try to follow.
Voy a bajar un poco el... Ahora cierren sus ojos y cántenlo.
Now try to sit, close your eyes and sing.
1, 2, 3. Because he ¿Qué pasó?
What happened?
When you close your eyes, you're more concentrating on the words,
Música es una
more
oración.
emotion. Your senses grow. You lose the sense of seeing, and you increase the other senses.
Because music is a prayer.
Cada vez que
Why do we
cantemos,
sing before we pray?
Why
And it helps the prayer.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
deberíamos incluir, y la más adelante la hermana Helen White nos dice,
We should include, and actually the next following paragraphs will say,
deberíamos incluir la música con más eficiencia en los servicios.
music should be included and used with more efficiency in our worship services.
La melodía de las canciones.
The melody of song.
Can you read it?
Sister Francisca? Oh,
Oh,
sorry, Sister Andrea.
yes.
Yeah.
The melody of song.
Melodies of song,
Yes.
for many hearts in prayer. Distinct utterance in one of God's instruments in the work of saving souls. All the service should be conducted with solemnity and as if in the visible presence of the Master of Acevedo.
Esto es lo que acabo de pasar cuando cantamos.
This is what just happened when we sang.
La melodía exhalada de muchos corazones en forma clara,
The melody poured out forth from many hearts,
en forma clara y en distintas personas.
distinct with distant utterance,
Es uno de los instrumentos de Dios en la obra de
is
salvación.
one of God's instruments in the work of saving souls.
Todo el servicio debe ser dirigido con solemnidad.
All services should be conducted with solemnity and awe.
Estamos hablando de música.
And we're talking about music.
Todo el servicio
All the music service
debe ser efectuado con reverencia y
should be
con...
conducted with reverence
solemnidad.
and solemnity, or awe, solemnity and awe.
Acabamos de cantar con los ojos cerrados de forma irreverente.
We just sang with our closed eyes, and was that irreverent?
No,
Oh, it was.
como si estuviéramos orando.
We were as if we were praying, right?
¿Y qué pasó en sus corazones?
And what happened in our hearts?
Porque esto lo dijo la sierva del Señor.
Because this was written by the servant, by the spirit, by the prophet.
Movámonos rápidamente para que no se me duerma.
Yeah, let's move forward.
Aquí nos habla de la eficacia o la necesidad de un coro en la congregación.
Here it talks about the need of a choir in the congregation.
Resulta que si uno solo es el que canta,
It happens that if there is only one person singing,
o uno solo es el que toca un instrumento,
or it's only one person playing the instrument,
pueden pasar dos cosas.
there could be two things.
La persona que sabe tocar
The
o
person who
cantar,
knows how to sing and how to play,
o se pone sobre un pedestal
could be treated as an idol,
o se cansa y empieza a cantar como decía la hermana Helen White hace un momento, de forma descuidada.
just get tired and just sing whatever, you know,
De forma descuidada.
in a careless way.
Entonces, la obligación como iglesia
So,
es no dejar solo a los
Our
hermanos.
mandate as a church is not to do that.
Aquí no nos exigen un curso de canto para pertenecer al coro.
It doesn't say that we need to take a music lesson or some kind of training to sing.
Usted está en la iglesia,
You're in the church,
usted está en el coro.
you are part of the choir.
No es solo un don,
It's not just a gift or that gift,
es una responsabilidad.
it's also a responsibility.
No es solo la responsabilidad del que toca,
It's not just the responsibility of he who plays,
todos
but everyone's.
en las reuniones, en the meetings.
In the meetings,
Sister, can you read, please?
Yes, it says, in the meeting held, let a number be chosen to take part in the song service, and let the singing be accompanied with a music instrument skillfully handled. We are not to oppose the use of instrumental music in our work. This part of the service is to be carefully conducted, for it is the praise of God in song. The singing is not always to be done by a few, as often as possible. Let the entire congregation join.
Así que mis hermanos,
so my dear brothers and sisters,
esto es no solo una invitación,
this is not just an invitation,
es una exhortación
it's an exhortation,
para que canten al Señor.
so that you can sing,
Como en el Salmo 150,
as the Psalm
todo
150
lo que
says,
respire, alabe al Señor.
everything that breatheth.
Dejen que el talento del canto
Let the talent of singing be brought into the word. The use of musical instruments is not at all objectable. These were used in religious services in ancient times. The worshippers praise God for the harp and the cymbal, and music should have its place in our services.
Puedo compartirles el material por correo,
I could share all this with you by email,
pero quisiera que quedara clara en nuestros corazones
but
la
I would like us to have in our heart very clear
necesidad de usar la música,
to use music,
que sintiéramos el peso de la responsabilidad de usar la música
that we should feel the burden to use music in our services,
para alabar a Dios.
to praise
De la
God, the God of music.
Termino diciendo
And I'll just close.
que como parte del servicio religioso,
As part of religious service,
cantar
singing
es mucho más que un
is as much as
es
an
como un
act
acto de oración.
of worship as is prayer.
Muchos de los cantos del himnario son una oración.
Many of the hymns we have in our hymn books are prayers.
Entonces, ¿cómo estamos orando?
And so how is our prayer singing life?
Cada vez que cantemos con el himnario,
Every time we sing with the hymn,
pensemos que estamos orando con música.
let's think we're praying with music.
Tengamos esa conciencia.
Let's have that, conscious, that attitude, that mind. Yeah.
Les agradezco muchísimo que se tomen el tiempo de haberse quedado acá.
Thank you so much for your time, for staying a little bit more.
Mi
this
deseo es
afternoon.
que empecemos a considerar la posibilidad
I would like you to start considering the possibility
de usar la música adecuadamente para el Dios de la música.
to use the gift of music to the God of music.
Aquí hay mucho potencial.
There is great potential here.
Hay unas excelentes voces,
There is beautiful voices.
hay excelentes instrumentos.
There are beautiful instruments.
¿Por qué no?
Why not to grow into that?
¿Qué nos detiene?
What is hindering us?
¿Se imaginan un coro con armónica y órgano y piano?
The beautiful a choir with harmonica and the organ and the voices. encourage you to continue.
¿Conocen el himno Because He Lives?
Do you know the hymn?
Yes.
Because you live, we
Quisiera antes de terminar que oráramos con música.
I would like us to pray with music before we close. Which is it?
632. No, it's
563 is that he lives.
because he lives. Is it, what is it, 6 something? How is it?